Welcome to this new video about Forza Horizon 6, in which I will answer all your questions about the game. We're going to talk, for example, about the size of the map, how the driving feels, whether or not you can damage the cars, and a whole bunch of questions that I'll be answering today in this video, along with many others. So all these questions are ones you asked me in the comments on previous videos I made about the game or on my previous posts on social media. If you have more questions about the game I didn't cover, leave them in the comments. I might answer in a future video or reply directly, and try to keep in mind that all the information I'm going to give you today is based on everything I've been able to test and see myself while playing Forza Horizon 6. But it's mainly based on the early access version of Forza Horizon 6, which I've had access to for about 2 weeks. It's possible that some things might be changed or different in the final game, and maybe in a few weeks when Forza Horizon 6 is released, if you ask me the same questions, my answers might be a little different, but I think overall, 99% of the game will be exactly the same. You asked if I could show you the full Forza Horizon 6 map. Here is the entire map of Forza Horizon 6. Keep in mind that all the green areas are places I haven't discovered yet, and all the lighter areas are places I've driven through. The map is colossal. The map is made up of 6 different biomes, including a massive city, Tokyo, which I visited in a dedicated video that's absolutely incredible. The city itself is divided into several biomes, because clearly, from one neighborhood to another, the atmosphere is completely different. The map is beautiful, overall, from everything I've seen. Honestly, every time, the environments are amazing. There are incredible places to take photos everywhere, and the roads are generally really fun to drive on. And on top of that, the map is colossal. That brings us to your second question. What's the map size in Forza Horizon 6? I can't give a precise answer, as the developers haven't revealed the map's exact size in square kilometers. What I can give you, though, is an estimate. It's just an approximation because from where I am to the farthest point on the map, so really, let's say, from the very bottom left all the way to the top right. There's a route calculated by the GPS, which is about 30 kilometers. That's right, 33.8 kilometers. I did the calculation in a previous video, actually the first one where we discovered the map. I think the perimeter of the Forza Horizon 6 map is about 80 to 90 kilometers. In terms of roads, that's 30 kilometers more than on the Forza Horizon 5 map. And by giving all this information to ChatGPT, the estimate provided by the AI is about 300 square kilometers for the map. So, I don't know if it also took into account areas like this one, where you can't go. But it wouldn't surprise me if we're actually between 250 and 300 square kilometers. That's much bigger than Forza Horizon 5, and above all, the map is much more interesting. So a much bigger map, probably much more varied, much more fun to play, and once again, if you really want to see more of this map, I invite you to check out the other videos I've made on Forza Horizon 6, because I've already shown quite a few little areas in those videos. Not everything, so I don't spoil it, but I did show some specific areas. Third question. Can you teleport around the map? Yes, you can. But I'm not sure it works exactly the same way in the final game, because right now, in the beta I have access to, I can teleport anywhere, instantly and for free, as long as I've already discovered the area. I can teleport anywhere within a zone, like a white one. However, in a green zone, the option disappears. It's radically different from the previous Forza Horizon games, because I think in Forza Horizon 4 and 5, to fast travel, you had to unlock teleportation by buying the house that allowed you to unlock that feature. And on top of that, you had to pay a varying amount. Initially, teleportation was pricey, but as you advanced and unlocked discounts, the cost dropped until it became free. Here, it's totally different, since you can teleport anywhere, instantly, for free, as long as you've already been to the place you want to teleport to. Third question, is there damage to the cars? And the answer is yes, so I'll show you that. By the way, we can switch to simulation damage, so in addition to visual damage, we'll also have cosmetic damage. There, let's switch to simulation. Indeed, when we hit obstacles, when we hit cars or walls, depending on the speed of the impact, the severity of the crash, and the weight of the object we collide with, the car will take more or less damage. So I'll show you a little demo. Don't expect ultra-advanced destruction like we have in some games like Wreckfest, for example. Here, we're talking about damage like we had in Forza Horizon 4 or Forza Horizon 5, meaning fairly minimal damage. It's going to be limited to scratches on the bodywork, sometimes maybe cracks on the windshield, and possibly also a few small pieces of bodywork that will get deformed. It won't go beyond that. Still, the car deformation is more realistic than in Horizon 5, as bodywork damage is now calculated based on the exact point of impact. If you hit the front left, that part will be damaged. If you hit the rear right, that's the part affected. But it won't be like in other games of the franchise, where when you hit the front, for example, it was the rear that got damaged. So yes, there is visual damage, and yes, there is still mechanical damage. The damage you can get when you activate simulation damage, where you can, for example, damage your car's steering. If you hit the front too hard, for example, you might not be able to turn as well as before. Or maybe your car, and actually, that's the case right now since we hit a wall earlier, the car will start turning a little bit on its own. To keep it straight, you'll need to counteract that. You can also damage the gearbox if, for example, you have a collision, or if you shift gears incorrectly. In those cases, you'll lose engine power and your gear shifts will take longer and longer, so you'll lose acceleration. And of course, you can break the suspension. You can break the car's engine, either by collisions or by shifting gears too late or too early, for example. And there, it's the same. It can lead to the vehicle almost coming to a stop. That means the car will become slower and slower, with less and less power available. It's not possible to stop it completely. In any case, from what I've tested myself, you can't really get to a complete breakdown where the car is totally immobile. However, you can still get to points where the car will be particularly slowed down and where, clearly, the difference in acceleration will be really noticeable. I'll try to give you a demonstration. Here, for example, I just hit a wall. And oh wow. And you see? My car is clearly having trouble moving forward again. So that's with simulation damage. Then, if you turn them off and switch to cosmetic damage, it'll just be visual damage. And if you turn damage off entirely, you won't have any damage at all. One of the nice little features of this Forza Horizon 6 is that there are some new types of damage that have been added, specifically for the tires. Now, that's something I'll have a hard time showing you. Horizon 6 features more advanced tire management than earlier Forza Horizon games. When you drift a lot or when you turn a lot in the same direction, your tires will visually start to wear down and get damaged. But you will also, when you have simulation damage enabled, start to lose a bit of grip on the tires that are starting to get damaged. Next question, and I'll take advantage of being next to a gas station to show you. Can we use the gas station to refuel? The answer is obviously no. There you go. The stations are just there for decoration in the game. Unless there's a hidden feature that only appears in the final game, but honestly, I don't think so. So I think the gas stations are simply there for the roleplay aspect, to take pictures with your friends, to serve as a meeting point. But for now, there's no way to interact with them. You asked to see the full list of cars, but I can't show it because my version of Forza Horizon 6 doesn't include all the cars. I have a few models, so a few new additions to Forza, like for example the Acura Integra from 2023 and the Honda Civic Type R from 2023. These are new cars that we've never had in Forza Horizon before. The rest of the cars are ones you already know. So, I have 13 of them, and I'm missing 2 in this early access build, the MX-5 Forza Edition and the Toyota Yaris GR, which maybe I'll have time to unlock and show in a video. But no, unfortunately, I can't show you everything. But just as a reminder, Forza Horizon 6 at launch has 550 cars plus the first 2 DLCs, plus all the cars from the Season Pass that will be added over the coming months, and probably hundreds more cars that will be added with the different game updates. Another question you asked me is, how are the car sounds? Well, if everything goes well, I actually made a video about that. A video that may already be on my channel or will be by the time you see this, where I let you hear what they sound like. Here's a comparison of the cars I was unlocking in Forza Horizon 6 and how their sounds match up with those same cars in Forza Horizon 5. Overall, what I can tell you is that the sounds are different on Horizon 6 compared to Horizon 5. They've all been reworked. In any case, for all the cars I've tested, the sounds have been reworked. By the way, just a little side note about that. The aesthetics of the cars as well. Whether it's the interior materials, the wood, the plastics, the leather, but also the exterior, the paint finish, the silhouette of the car, those details like the headlights, for example, or the shine of the chrome. They've all been completely redesigned on the outside, but also in terms of sound. You can still recognize the signature, let's say, sound of Forza Horizon. It's similar to Horizon 5 but with more detail. Some cars have completely re-recorded sounds. There are new turbo, supercharger, and transmission sounds. And then, 2 little sound details that I find pretty cool are, well, first, they've added new sounds for slowing down. When you release the accelerator, there are little crackling sounds, new backfire sounds, and transmission noises that simply weren't in Forza Horizon 6 when idling. And then, when you're almost at a complete stop, The engine sound, let's say at idle, has been completely reworked. It sounds more realistic, more gritty. That's actually pretty cool. Overall, I have to admit the car sounds in Forza Horizon 6 are more enjoyable than in Horizon 5, though. That might not be true for all cars in the game. We need to wait for the game's release to test all the cars. But it's true that it seems a bit cooler to me, especially because I feel like they've brought back a bit of the sound design direction from Forza Horizon 1. That is to say, when you're really at high revs, I find that the sound of the cars is more metallic, more saturated, and there's more difference in volume when you accelerate hard versus lightly, compared to Forza Horizon 5. And honestly, I think that's a good thing. I'll answer another question briefly here. Customizations. Like with the sounds, I'll make a dedicated video about customization options since you asked how they were. I invite you to check out the dedicated video that will be released on my channel if you really want to know everything about the topic. But overall, yes, there are more customization options than in Forza Horizon 5. And yes, overall, the developers weren't lying when they said that all the cars are customizable. There are a few new types of customization. There are new body parts, and there are also the famous Forza Aero kits, which are now different on every car in the game, at least all the ones I've been able to test. Overall, it's better than in Forza Horizon 5. Same thing. A lot of you asked me if in Forza Horizon 6 there are new RP features that let you manage the cars, like turning on the blinkers, turning on the headlights, that kind of thing. The answer is clear and simple, guys. No, it's exactly like in Forza Horizon 5. So, unless it changes in the final game, maybe once again we don't have all the features available in this beta. But from what I've tested, no, there aren't blinkers. No, you can't turn on the headlights whenever you want. No, you also can't turn the car off and on whenever you want. On the other hand, there's still the drive mode system, like what was added in Horizon 5, meaning that, for example, here on the Yaris, I can press the left stick on the controller and switch from track mode to sport mode on this Yaris. That's one feature that's been kept. It might be offered on more cars, and we could have more choices in the game. From what I've seen, there aren't any major new RP features. Now, another question that we might spend quite a bit of time on is, how is the game's economy? Is it easy to make money in this one? Is it quick to get cars? As for the cars, my answer is going to be pretty quick. Overall, I feel like it takes longer to get high-end cars in Forza Horizon 6 than it did in Horizon 5. Right now, as I'm making this video, I must have about 4, 5, or 6 hours of gameplay. I've explored a lot and raced little, getting only about 15 cars. That may sound like a lot, but in Forza Horizon 5, we'd already done that test in just 4 or 5 hours of gameplay, even after I restarted a save file. We had already gotten 80 or 90 cars. Honestly, it was outrageous. So now, it's going to take longer to get cars. And above all, for now, I don't have any supercars and I don't have any hypercars either. So yes, I have some pretty powerful cars that can go over 300, 500 horsepower, but I don't have a Ferrari, I don't have a Porsche, I don't have a Lamborghini, no Bugatti. Which seems to show that it's actually going to take longer to get access to them and longer to unlock them. Also, I should mention that in this version of the game, I don't have access to the dealership. I can't buy any cars. So actually, all the cars I got here are cars that I got by taking advantage of the aftermarket car purchase system. Actually, when you drive around the map from time to time, a car will appear that you can buy, which will be pre-customized and will have a discount offered so you can pay a little less for it. All the cars you can get in this beta only come from this kind of secondary dealership system, let's say. So I don't have access to the main dealership. And actually, if I had wanted to and had saved up 1,000,000 credits, in my opinion, it would have been totally possible for me to have already bought a supercar or a hypercar with my money. In any case, the game didn't give me one. So, overall, in Horizon 6, you unlock cars a bit more slowly, and especially unlock high-performance cars much more slowly. Now, regarding money, my answer is going to be a bit more nuanced because I feel like you don't necessarily earn less money and fewer rewards than in Forza Horizon 5, for example, which was still extremely generous. Conversely, I think you earn money in a totally different way. First of all, there's something important to know. Maybe it will be different in the final game. But here, I didn't get any random draws. I didn't get any wheel spins or super wheel spins. Maybe that's a feature disabled in this beta that will be in the final game. In any case, the fact that I didn't get any means that all the money I earned and all the cars I got in the game are things I actually earned, so to speak. The game seems to be less generous, let's say, when it comes to rewards that just fall from the sky or unearned rewards. Conversely, I find the game remains generous with money rewards. Events offer similar amounts as Forza Horizon 5 for the time invested, And above all, they've added new systems that let you unlock money or rewards just by exploring, especially with new collectibles. Little mascots like that. There are 200 of them on the map. Each one of them gives you 5,000 credits. In total, that should come to about 1 million credits you can earn this way, especially since there are places where a lot of them are grouped together side by side, for example in the city. Also, remember I had several that aren't on the map anymore. But indeed, there are quite a few signs and mascots side by side, which means you can get money this way without too much hassle. Exploring the map encourages discovery. Rewards aren't just handed to you. But also, there's the new reward system during exploration phases where, in fact, each area of the map, once discovered, gives you credits. But in addition, every time you complete objectives in it and continue to discover it, at each discovery milestone, you'll get a new amount of money that will keep getting bigger. For example, if I'm not mistaken, the district I'm in right now, the first time I entered it, I earned 5,000 credits for discovering it. Then, after discovering 25% of the roads, I think I got a 25,000 credit bonus. I haven't reached 50 yet, but I guess at 50 it'll be 50,000, and at 100, maybe 100,000. So, I think FD is still pretty generous in terms of money rewards, but I think the way you get that money is different, and that to earn money, you'll have to play. And finally, the big question to wrap up is about the driving. How is the driving in FD6? Listen, this is the point that surprised me the most because actually the first gameplay footage, the first trailers of the game showed driving. That was really weird. So, I don't know if it was because of the people who were playing the game. Maybe a little bit abrupt? Or if it was because the game's physics were different. Or maybe because the cars used in those gameplay videos were set up in a very particular way. Honestly, it made me a bit worried because I really felt like Horizon 6 was going to be really arcadey, and that we were going to get bored actually, that we'd have cars that were really ultra-light and way too easy to control. That's absolutely not the case. And I would even say that in some ways, the physics are more realistic than the physics in Horizon 5. So, just to be clear, it's still an arcade game. It's still a game that I think will be playable by the widest audience. No problem at all, especially because Horizon 6 offers a whole driving assistance system that you can turn on or off, which will allow you to make the driving in the game easier or harder. But if you play like me, with most of the assists turned off and with as many settings as possible set to simulation instead of arcade, the physics, honestly, are more enjoyable than in Horizon 5. To sum up, I feel like the physics in Horizon 6 are a mix between the physics of Horizon 5 and the physics of Horizon 1 in certain aspects. There are big differences between the various cars you can try. A light rear-wheel drive car handles very differently from a heavy rear-wheel drive, and also from front-wheel or all-wheel drives. Actually, I think what you feel, and maybe that's what surprised me in a good way, is the suspension effects and the weight effects of the cars. The inertia, the feeling of the suspension feedback, of what's happening on the ground, and the weight of the vehicles is much more engaging, I think, than in Horizon 5. So, all of that, of course. I'll have the chance to come back to this in more detail when I make a video, where I'll really give my opinion on this beta, where I'll give more info on a whole bunch of topics. But to quickly answer this question, how is the driving? Well, for me, that's the simplest way to put it. I'd say that it's a mix between Horizon 1 and Horizon 5, that it's no more arcadey than Horizon 5, just a bit different. And by the way, I'll take this opportunity to answer one last question, because I forgot to answer it earlier, even though I read the question. Can you destroy the environment? I think you saw it throughout this video. Yes, you can. Just like in Horizon 5, you can break fences, you can break trees, you can break certain buildings, like for example the greenhouses. The small things are breakable, and just like in Horizon 5, the big things like large buildings, or trees with thicker trunks, or, I don't know, concrete barriers, for example. Those you can't break. I hope I answered all your questions in this video. If you have more, leave them in the comments and I'll reply in writing or in another video. In the meantime, feel free, to leave a like on this video, subscribe for future videos, and use my link on this video. This lets you buy Forza Horizon 6 at 30% off and supports my channel a bit. Feel free to follow me on Twitch for upcoming streams. The link is in the pinned comment, so please follow and drop a Prime sub. It really means a lot. See you soon for a new video. Bye!